Hi, this is the Rusted Willow, and my name is Tammie. If you like DIYs, hauls, flips, and everything farmhouse, you are in the right place. If you are returning, thank you so much for your support. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell for notifications of new videos every time I upload. Now let's get into these Third Thursday thrift flip. Say that 10 times fast. Here is DIY number 1. So DIY number 1 is this haul table. I picked this up at a thrift store for $10. What I did was, which I didn't show you on camera, I spray painted it flat black, Rust-Oleum 2 times in the flat black, and then I used the Rust-Oleum 2 times matte sealer. And I am just using the Rust-Oleum. This is all Rust-Oleum. I am using the Rust-Oleum chiffon cream chalk paint. So what I do is I give it 2 good coats, and where the diamonds are in the cutout, I still give it 2 good coats, but I do not get down in all the grooves. So I let some of the black shine through in the grooves. Okay, now this is the top, and I thought it was some kind of slate. I think it might be cement. Actually, I'm really not sure what it is. I still think it's slate, but it had a coating on it and I didn't like it. So I put some stripper on it, and this is how it turned out. Now, I like the different texture. There's still a stone look to it, which I like that. So I just spray painted it black, which is what you're seeing here, which you really can't tell because it doesn't look that different. And that's how I left it. So I am just hand sanding this in certain places strategically, where I think that it will show some wear and tear, and I love how the black shows through. This is just my favorite thing. I did not want to take it out into the garage and sand it with my hand sander, because some places I want it to look really worn, and some places I just want the black to peek through. So here I'm just showing you how I am hand sanding it, and I'm using a 60 grit sandpaper to do that. Now here is how I hand sand the cutout, and I don't know what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them, the cutouts, where the diamonds are. And do you see the black lines? I love how that looks. And I don't really mess with that at all. I do lightly sand over it, but other than that, that's it. And then I finish it off with a 220 grit sandpaper, and then I clear coat it. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Ring that little bell for notifications. I'd appreciate it. It'd really help out my channel. So here is how some of the distressing turned out, and you will see the final look in the end. Okay guys, today is Third Thursday. I can't even say it. Third Thursday thrift flips. We're going to be doing this every third Thursday, Elizabeth and I, with Southern Gmore gals, and here is Elizabeth's channel. And if you have not checked her out, you need to go check her out, because she's pretty talented. She does a lot of thrift flips. She does high-end thrift flips. She does Dollar Tree DIYs. So you need to go check her out. She does an amazing job, and she is sweet as all get out. So hop over to her channel and give her some love. All right guys, on to DIY number 2. All right guys, DIY number 2 is this lamp thrift flip. So I found this at a thrift store, and doesn't the shade remind you of boho? So the shade is in my booth. I tore this lamp apart because it reminded me of an old post. Like, how gorgeous is this bottom of this lamp? It is ceramic, and it had a black foam bottom on it, which I tore off because I knew I was going to tear this lamp apart. And I don't know how old this lamp is, but my sister was like, no, don't tear it apart, leave it. I'm not leaving it because I love it. However, I left the post there so we could put this back together with a new socket, new wiring if we wanted to later on. But as of right now, I am using it as a riser, and I love it. So I just cut the cord and unstring that cord, take all the insides out. The nut actually was glued, so my husband had to come help me get the nut off and all of the stuff out. But other than that, it's pretty simple. You just unscrew the nut and the stuff comes out. So I give this like 1.5 coats of Waverly White chalk paint by Plaid, and because I want it to look rustic and worn, and then I do give it a light sanding. But here you just see me giving it the first coat, and my chalk paint is, you know, Waverly is really thick, so I don't want it to go on that thick, so I just water it down a little bit and it glides right on over the surface of this. And they made this look like wood. It was just amazing. So I wanted that to show through because I wanted it to look like a real wood post or part of a post. And it actually turns out pretty cute. When my sister watches this, she's gonna be like, oh my God, you tore that lamp apart. Yes, I did. So let me know, would you guys have tore the lamp apart and used the post, or would you left it as a lamp? All right, so after I got that painted, I cut out some foam, and all I had was brown. I didn't have black. I'm gonna have to go buy some black, but all I had was brown. And so I put the brown on the bottom, I cut it to size, and I hot glued it in place. I actually did go over it with my paintbrush and lightly brush it with some white paint, but you know what? It's on the bottom. Nobody's gonna see it. I don't even know why I did that. That was so unnecessary. All right, guys, wait till you see how I style it. But here we go, on to DIY number 3. Okay, so I got this shelf at Goodwill. I don't even know. Maybe it was a thrift store. I don't know. Anyway, I got this shelf. It was maybe $2. It's just made out of cheap plywood, but it reminded me of Cottage core, the design of it. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna bring this home and give it new life. So I did that technique. If you watch Ginger Chick, she paints everything black and then she paints everything white. And I love that. I just absolutely love that. So I did the same thing. I painted this black, then I clear coated it, and now I'm giving it a coat, actually 2 good coats of Waverly White chalk paint. And then after I get done, there's a lot of steps to this one. There really is. After I get done, I take my antiquing wax and I go over the whole thing with antiquing wax. And I started out with a baby wipe, and guys, I didn't have time for that. That quickly got old. I grabbed a brush right here. I grabbed a brush and I was like, okay, I don't have time for this. Plus, I needed to get down into the cracks and crevices. And then I used my baby wipe to blend in the antiquing wax. But this turns out so amazing. So not only do I go over it with the dark wax, but you'll see here in a minute, I actually go over it with the white wax too. And guys, here's a tip for you. If your dark wax is a little dark or a little thick, spray it with water and then you can move it around a little bit better. So here it is. I've antiqued it, waxed it. I waxed it all over, and now I'm going in with white wax over it. And that really tones down the brown wax. And I thought I was going to distress this and let the black shine through, but I didn't. I actually loved how this looked. After I did the dough bowl in my last video, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to do that technique more often because I love how it turned out. I just love how it looked. So now to add a little bit more extra to it, because sometimes I'm a little extra, I have this stencil that I bought off of Amazon, and I've used it in my previous videos. I will link that video up above, and that video actually has information on where to get the stencil if you like the stencil. So it is just French writing. It's got like a postmark. You can't make out one letter, but you can make out the postmark just a little bit. So I am using the color Steel in Waverly chalk paint, and I just laid my stencil down and I'm going to town. I'm using a little dauber from Dollar Tree to pounce that paint on that stencil. What I did was I poured some paint out onto a paper towel, and then I offloaded my pouncer onto the paper towel so that I didn't have too much paint on my pouncer. And then I just pounced the paint onto the stencil. All right, guys, on to DIY number 4. And this one's gonna be a super simple one. So I got this house, I think it's ceramic, I know it's breakable, but the finish was coming off of it. I got it at Goodwill for $2.99, and I will tell you how much I'm gonna mark these to put in my booth, if they go in my booth. I did get some comments that they like to know what I was selling my stuff for in my booth. And if you stay till the end of the video, you will get a sneak peek of my booth before I left town this weekend. So I got it ready for the weekend, and that's what it looked like, and you'll get to see what it looked like. On this little house, it was $2.99 at Goodwill, and I'm giving it a coating of white Waverly chalk paint because white houses are very popular. And you can see that this house is kind of, I don't know, it's like a very light terracotta color. I don't know what color it is. Well, it looks like I lost some footage, and I actually go over it at the very end with some antiquing wax, and you don't want to see me paint this white and then antique it, but you will see in the final reveal how cute it turns out. All right, on to DIY number 5, guys. So now I'm taking these mirrors. They are not antique, they are home interior, and these are plastic. They are gold plastic. So out with the gold and in with the black. I put a good coating of spray paint on, and now I am clear coating it with some matte clear coat. And honestly, it doesn't matter what clear coat you use as long as you clear coat them, because you don't want your black to mix in with your white. And I'm painting them white. Yes, I am. And I actually distress them in some areas so that the gold and the black both shine through, but not a lot, because I wanted full coverage. I liked how the black kind of showed through in the delicate parts where they have a lot of the, or not the delicate parts, the detailed parts where it has a lot of detail. And I love the shape of the mirrors. I thought these mirrors would be great for centerpieces on your table. If you did tablescapes, you could add them into your tablescapes. You could put these mirrors anywhere because they are skinny. They're like long and skinny. So you can either hang them on a wall, or you can use them on your table, put them in a basket, put them on a tiered tray. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with these. And after I got them painted, I did distress them just a tiny bit. I didn't show that. And now I'm just putting them back together. And you can see I did not take the home interior stickers off because some people like that. So here I am cleaning them again with my newspaper. See how clean they get? I just love that. I only have newspaper because I thrift and they wrap my stuff in newspaper. Okay guys, so here I was kind of messing around. I have these metal words from Dollar Tree, and I thought, you know what, that would be super cute to glue them on the mirror and hang them that way. Okay guys, once again, this is Third Thursday Thrift Flips, and it will be every third Thursday of the month if you want to join us. And here is my final reveal. Here is the haul table, and this haul table is actually in my booth. That's how it turned out. It turned out beautifully. I bought it for $10 and I marked it $70. Here is my lamp post. Actually, this is not for sale. I believe I paid $5.99 for that lamp. The shade, however, is for sale, and I marked it for 10 bucks. And that's how I styled it. Isn't that gorgeous? That is an LED Dollar Tree candle, by the way, with a wreath from Hobby Lobby. So these are the mirrors, and that's how I styled them. I kind of styled them as a tablescape, and then I just left the one next to it, which obviously on a table you could put them end to end. And here is the little house, and can you see that I just barely dark waxed it. It turned out so cute. I love the dark wax and how I brought out the shutters. And here is that Cottage Core Shabby Chic shelf, and it's a corner shelf, so you can only hang it in the corner, and I love how that turned out. And here is a sneak peek of our booth. This is what it looked like on Friday night. There's that shade. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. To all my subscribers out there, I truly appreciate you coming each week and commenting and liking my videos. It helps me out so much. And if you are new here, the Rusted Willow family, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, here are some more that you might like as well. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next one.